Can you just start by talking about the missed extra point and then the blocked extra point? What happened on those two plays?
Yeah, on the missed extra point, he just pushed it a little bit right. And then on the one that we got blocked, we just were a little bit late off the ball at left wing and didn't get two hands on him. Simple as that. I wish I had a better explanation, but that's exactly what happened.
And then coming back off of that, you had the kickoff that's down inside the 1 yard line. Just what happened on that play and working, where is Pollard right now in the return game, what you want on those kickoff returns for you?
Yeah, on the one, he dropped it. I don't have a lot more information than that. It was a good kick for us to return, and I think he just got big eyes looking downfield where the hole was going to be, and he forgot the most important thing, which was the ball. I have a ton of respect and appreciation for Tony's hard work, and he dropped one. It's as simple as that, and don't we all at some point, huh?
Will you keep Pollard as a kickoff returner, or will you try Cedric Wilson there?
Tony Pollard, for me, 100%. 100%. I think he's a hell of a kick returner and a young guy, and just got excited, got big eyes, and got to just remember the football. But I'm looking forward to what he's going to bring to the table the next couple months.
How would you evaluate CD on punt return yesterday? And he had a couple of penalties there as well.
On punt return, I thought CD's done a great job handling the ball. One, he broke a tackle and got about 18 yards on it. The punter did a real nice job on the one where we got one penalty in the punt return game. I think it was the second to last one where he pinned us down in the corner, and our corner was trying to just seal the guy off, and we just got cut off. So it was a hell of a punt. But I'm proud of CD for getting back there and handling the football and is doing his best, and we're going to continue to get better on the technical part of the punt return game. So it's a work in progress, and I have eternal optimism on our potential on that phase of the game. So nobody's shook. The guys are playing really hard, and we'll get better at it, and if we don't, then you can blame me.
John, how do you get consistency with your group? It seems just kind of riding a wave at times. How do you just kind of get it to be steady?
Pretty volatile phase of the game, isn't it? Try stand on the sideline. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take reps. I'm a new coach for them, and there's a couple new players, and gosh, we're 3 games into it, and like everybody. So obviously, there's no excuses. But I'm learning about them, they're learning about me, and I think it's going to take, one big play on the positive side of it for the gates to open for us. So, we've had a few mistakes the first couple of weeks, a few pretty decent plays, and I'm very optimistic about our players. And like I said before, any growing pains or mistakes that happen, you can attribute to me either calling the wrong play or putting them in the wrong position. But I'm very excited about coaching the group that we have and watching them improve, and I would anticipate you'll be seeing the same hopefully over the next few months.
It seemed like Pollard was a little slow to pick the ball up on that kickoff play. I wondered if maybe he got caught between trying to decide whether to bring it back in or what, and also how much of do you have to just kind of try to give him a pep talk in the wake of something like that, not only during the game but going forward, to try to keep his mind in there?
Yeah, 2-part question. The first one's a tactical one where, he muffed it while he was still in the end zone, and if the ball stayed in the end zone, he can just take a knee, and he knows that from a Pittsburgh, Tennessee play years ago. Once the ball kind of leaked into the field of play, quickly he thought about pulling it back into the end zone, but he knows he can't do that because we showed him that Pittsburgh, Tennessee play from years ago. And so at that point, he knew he was screwed and he had to dive on the ball because they're coming. So he was just in a real tough spot right there. And he made the right decision on getting on it because you can't pull it back in for the immediate safety. And the second part of it, a young guy, he was shook, as anybody likely would be. And I just told them, that he doesn't have to try to make up for a mistake on his future opportunities by pressing. And I think it did affect him a little bit the rest of the game with a few other things that happened there. But, it's a unfortunate, good learning experience on, hey, got to catch the ball first. And if anything bad ever happens, don't let that same play beat me twice later in the game. And that's part of my job as a coach on a real volatile phase of the game with a lot of young guys is keeping their poise and not letting, a bad play manifest itself later in the game. And that's it's a great challenge of mine to keep their minds right. And I love doing this, even though, the bad days, create a lot of angst in myself. But the good days, when they come later, make it all worth it.
Obviously, you saw what Tony did last year as a returner, and obviously you got the 3 games here. What gives you confidence that you can keep him as your returner going forward?
Well, I also, had a great evaluation of him coming out of Memphis. But more than that, my evaluation of him comes during the week of practice. When he studies the tape, we watch the tape. We're on the jugs machines every day. So, it's not for a lack of work ethic or a lack of concentration. The guy dropped the ball. We could talk about this till we're blue in the face. He just dropped the ball. And, I told the guys in the meeting today, figuratively speaking, we all do at some point. So, I'm sure that's not going to happen again. And I respect Tony a lot. And he knows that I got his back and that there's no knee-jerk reaction to thinking of going any other direction because I think he's a hell of a kid and a hell of a player, and it's only going to get better.
CD fielded a punt, it looks as if around an 8-yard line. Was that the right thing to do, or should he have let that ball bounce and try to roll into the end zone? I mean, I know that punter was pretty good yesterday too, but what's the coaching point there for CD on a punt, like inside the 10? Yeah,
that one that he picked up in the corner, that wasn't going to roll into the end zone because they were going to be there to down it. So, if we didn't have the penalty, we got it back to, I think, the 10-yard line, which they would have downed it inside the 5 if he didn't pick that one up. There's a couple other ones where we let it go over our head. Cedric Wilson had one where it landed at the 4 and rolled into the end zone. Great decision because we don't want to catch it at the 4. And then CD had one that also went over his head that stayed inbounds in the field of play, and they downed inside the 5, and it was a great punt and a really good decision by CD not to back up to field the ball inside the 5 when they're punting it from around the 50. So I think all our decisions were good, but that one punt that pinned us in the corner was a great punt, and I think sometimes you got to attribute things that happen to the success of another team, and they did that on that punt.
We're going to finish up with Michael Gelkin. Unless you have another question, you can text me, and I'll get you in right after him.
Chris Jones had 3 punts yesterday. None of them were returned. I feel like C.J. Goodwin is someone who I could ask you about every week, and so I want to ask you about him very broadly. What does C.J. bring to your special teams unit? What is his importance and value there? And if you have any other comments on Chris Jones' day specifically, happy to hear that.
Yeah, CJ's been, a great veteran for us. He's a real quiet guy during the week, but he's a big-time gamer, and I can't say enough good things about him. I mean, let's face it, his speed and his courage are, 2 things that are just that make him dangerous. And we can move him around, and he can pretty much do everything because he's got great speed, but he's also got, really great size and strength for a cornerback position, even though his role is special teams. And I thought Chris had his best day punting the football. Good operation, 3 punts, turned every ball over, nose down. And, CJ and Cedric Wilson was our gunner on all 3 of those punts. And they were Johnny on the spot and got one ball on the ground where I think it got booted out of bounds. But our punt pro and our punt cover was good, and our punting was well done.
Field position has been a part of the issue in terms of why the team has allowed 77 points these past 2 games. How much, as a special teams coordinator, do you identify field position as a real key area in your phase of the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge key in the game, and it's something that we always talk about is turning the field over when we got to punt it or trying to pin it back as best we can when we kick it off. A couple of our field position disadvantages, have come from, failed fake punt opportunity or some turnovers or the muff kickoff return. So, just kind of shooting ourselves in the foot with a couple of those missed opportunities, which we talked about in the special teams room today. That's what it comes down to, is opportunities are there and opportunities we need to take. And field position is, a result of that in the plus or minus area. So I'm looking forward to the future here with the guys that we have in the building. I think, you're gonna eventually start seeing some really good ball.
Thank you.